You see what Bill Gates is doing, right? Bill Gates is in Africa right now. He got this experiment where they're going to implant newborn babies in Kenya with this tracking device. And the Kenyan government is letting him do it. They're going to put tracking devices in the babies. But guess what else he's doing? He's working with the African Union. He's trying to force the African Union to stop all the farmers in Africa from using organic seed. He wants them to only use genetically modified seed that he sells them. They want to wipe us out through disease and starvation. They are also turning us into a landless race. When I was in the UK a few weeks ago, all I kept hearing about is how they gentrifying us. When I was in the Caribbean, Black Island, they gentrifying us. You feel me? Right. They want to make black people a landless people. And once we don't own no land, we effectively in slavery again. If you don't own any land, you are completely subject.
So, William Arap Samoei Ruto signed into law a land amendment bill. What does this say? Let's start. Mere basics. It says that all freehold land, freehold is like how we lipi land rent ni yako. So if you're in a place where it's a municipality, all you do is pay land rates for it. In fact, kuna places Kenya freehold land, you don't even pay land rates. So hizo ni mashamba most zenye zikuku ushago, zenye mashosho zetu na maguka zetu wako nazo, zenye wewe labda unangoja kuachiwa na babako. Most of them fall under freehold. So now what this land amendments bill has done is to convert your freehold land into leasehold. What does leasehold mean? It means that the land belongs to the government, but the government has leased it to you. So mostly it's for a period of 99 years, and within that period of time, you pay annual rent on the piece of land that is paid annually, and other than that, you still pay land rates to your county government. So what does this mean? For example, you have been given a title, and let's say mulipata your title around 1977. If this government decides to backdate your land rent from 1977 up until now, it costs some crazy amounts of money. So if you're not able to pay the land rent on your piece of land, what the government does, it comes and picks and confiscates your piece of land and takes it as their own. So in short, what this gangster paradise of a government is doing is stealing our ancestral land, using the powers that we have accorded to them as the citizens to steal our land. So watakuja wakuweke land rates crazy, wakwambie hauwezi lipa shambani yetu. Our ancestral land is going, tukiwa tu tumeangalia hivi. Number 2, the privatization bill allows the Kenya government to sell state assets without the consent of parliament. So among the 8 companies that this government wants to sell is Kenya Seeds Company. So Kenya Seeds Company is responsible for withholding our indigenous seeds. So when this particular company is sold to a private person, then that, for example, to say many Bill Gates, sometime last year the president wanted to make GMO seeds mandatory in Kenya na sisi tukakata. So if, for example, he sells the Kenya Seeds Company to Bill Gates Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, then that means that is how GMO takes root in our country. Yes, zile seeds na machakula zenye zinafanya wanaume wanapata matiti kama president wenu. Hizo chakula anakula ni GMO, that's how he looks the way he looks. And imagine what GMO does, inatupea cancer. Inatupea lifestyle diseases. When we get cancer and lifestyle diseases, tunaenda hosi. Sha haifanyi. Sha ikikosa kufanya, what happens then? Unakaa hivi unachochwa tuende India. Ukienda India, unarudi kwa coffin kama umefungwa kama ka hot dog hapo ka Naivas. And then, you die. Most Kenyans will not even be able to afford going to India and stuff like that. So tutakufa. Na tukikufa, what happens? Kenya becomes depopulated. The repopulation of Africa begins in Kenya. So despite new day colonialism tactics, because our president has decided to be a puppet of the West, to use our state assets and to want to steal our ancestral land. Guys, what is wrong with us? Why are we forgetting that sovereign power belongs to the people? Why are we allowing the very root of the freedoms that were fought for by the Mau Mau? The Mau Mau fought for freedom of land and freedom against the white man. Why are we allowing our democratic rights and our freedoms to be taken from us as though we are not learned, as though we do not know what power looks like? It's time for a total shutdown. It's time people go back to the streets, and this time round we are not going to fail. But before that, we need some proper planning. Let's talk about how we are going to ensure people's properties are not destroyed. Let's talk about how we are going to ensure that our lives, kwa sababu kuna resources za mkuu, there is still the military order that was allowed last year in 2024 on us, so there's a likelihood of the military being deployed on us. There is the fact of transition, if we go the Nepal way. But mahali imefika tunaibiwa our ancestral land tukiangalia hivi. So wale wazazi wetu wenye walikuwa wanadhani hawatafikiwa na mashida ya hii government, it is knocking right at your door. They are coming for the piece of land that your father left you. They are coming for the piece of land that you're supposed to leave for your children. Wake up. Ruto must go.